Hey friends, this is Prepping with Sarge for LT Wright Knives, and we're going to talk today about what to do if you are lost in the wilderness. Stay with me. All right, folks, thank you for staying with me. So let's talk a little bit about this. And by the way, if you're going to Georgia Bushcraft this year for the fall gathering, I will be actually talking about this topic more in depth and specifically really getting into in depth about what happens in the brain for humans when we're in this panic situation. So if you're going to be down there, check out my class. I would love to meet you. All right, so first thing you need to remember is the acronym STOP, okay? So this is gonna be a little bit of a lengthy video, but if you remember nothing else from this, I want you to remember this acronym STOP, okay? STOP stands for stop, think, observe, plan. Let's start with the S, stop. So having been lost in the wilderness a few times myself, I've actually talked about this openly on my channel. I believe in full disclosure that yes, I too screw up. So do all your other influencers. We make mistakes just like everybody else. But I got lost in the desert once, and I got lost in the Miles Standish State Forest once. Those were two times that I genuinely was lost and out of my element. And there's a couple things that happen in humans when we get into that moment of we realize, oh shoot, we really are like lost, like somehow we've gotten off the trail and really don't know where I am, don't know which way is north, which way I came from, and which way I need to go. Okay, so adults tend to think, oh, I'll just keep walking and I can find my way back. Sometimes they'll follow a trail or they'll follow water, and sometimes that's effective and sometimes it's not. It's not 100% reliable. Sometimes water will lead you out to somewhere where you really are far away from people and you might have made your situation worse. Another thing that you should know is that children, small children I'm talking about, tend to hide when they're lost. Okay, so they tend to like go hide behind a rock or a tree, because think about, you know, where I am right now. There's nobody around me right now, and that can be a little bit scary for a child. So what does a child's instincts say to do? You hide from the scary monster, right? Special needs people and elderly often end up close to water. I work with first responders. I'm a therapist by trade, and I've worked with a lot of people who are in rescue and recovery kind of type missions. And unfortunately, it's very common for special needs people to go to water. It's like an instinct for them, and unfortunately that doesn't end well if they don't know how to swim. Same thing for elderly people with dementia. So I want you to stop and just stand still for a minute, okay? So chances are pretty good, and again, I'm gonna go into this more in detail in my class at Georgia Bushcraft, but chances are pretty good that your panic mindset is going to be taking into effect, which means you're gonna get a surge of adrenaline and you could go into that fight, flight, freeze mode. Okay, try to resist that urge to like, oh, I know where I'm going, I'm just gonna keep going this direction, or I can find my trail if I just keep going backwards the way that I came from. Just stop for a minute, sit down, and start doing some deep breathing. What that's immediately going to do is start to signal the parasympathetic nervous system that you are safe, and it will start to get you out of fight, flight, freeze mode. Okay, you gotta give that at least 15 minutes before your heart rate comes down, the adrenaline's starting to burn out of your body a little bit, and you're gonna be able to think with a lot more clarity at that point, okay? That's gonna bring us to T. T is think, okay? So now what you're gonna do after your heart rate is calmed down and your mind's not racing and you're not in fight, flight, freeze mode, I want you to start to think, what was the last 15 minutes like before you realized that you were off trail or you were misplaced or you were lost? Did you pass any markers? Did you pass any landmarks? Did you hear anything like traffic in the distance, right? Just kind of think through that. I want you to also think, who did you let know that you were going out for a walk in the woods or the desert or wherever you were going? Who did you let know? I want you to think, do I have cell phone coverage here? Check your phone, right? Do you know which way is north, south, east, west? Do you know which way you came in from? Think, what did you bring with you, right? We're gonna talk about EDC gear in just a second here, what everybody should be bringing no matter how small the hike. Think, how long have you been traveling? Have you been going in generally the same direction for the same amount of time, okay? Think, what time of day is it and what time of year is it? Okay, what are my elements that I'm looking at? As I'm filming this right now, there's a rainstorm coming my way, so I have to work a little bit fast. What if this was winter? What if this was the high heat of summer? It is a little bit warm here, but it's not the worst that we get. All of those things can affect your survivability, right? Okay, so that's T, think. All right, now we're going to go into I want you to observe. So you're going to pay attention. Do I hear water in the background? Do I hear traffic in the background? Do I sense that the rainstorm is coming in? Do I observe animal tracks? Do I observe predator tracks? Do I observe evidence that there may be dangers in my area? Do I observe any wild edibles that I might be able to make use of if I need to? Did I observe any fresh water nearby? Do I observe any other hikers today? Did I see anybody along my path? How long ago, right? Then you're going back to the T a little bit. All right, folks, that's going to bring us to P, which is plan. Now, after we've gathered what information we can gather and we think about what our resources are, what our chances of getting lost if we try to recover ourselves, or are we better off to wait for a rescue because we knew somebody knew where we were going and they'll come looking for us. Obviously, we're going to take all that into account. And from that information, we're going to formulate our plan. Are we going to try to self-extricate if we believe we have a good chance? We know where the trail was. We know what direction we're supposed to be going from. Or are we going to hug a tree and wait? Because maybe that's the best option, right? Especially if somebody knew where I was going. It's now getting too dark. Maybe it's better for me to just sit and wait for another a ranger to come along or a rescue party to come along, right? So we're going to get into what to do in those cases here in just a second, but that's your stop. Remember that. That's probably the most important part of this video. Stop, think, observe, plan, okay? All right, well, we just got our first rumble of thunder, so I'm going to have to take you with me as we start extricating ourselves from this little day hike. So let's talk about this a little bit. If you are going to wait for a rescue, what are some things that you can and should be doing to improve your survivability? Well, number one, if you happen to be near open terrain, like I'm about to come into here, you'll see in a minute, your chances of being found definitely increase, okay? So if you can find it, and if you can find a spot that's close to a trail, even if you don't know where that trail's going, it increases your survivability. The further off trail you are, the further into the wilderness you are, the harder it is for them to find you, okay? You want to signal early and often, and basically you're gonna do your 3 bursts on a whistle, or three loud yells, hoots, things like that. If you can, take the time to learn how to do a signal mirror and how to use that, because you might see a helicopter or something like that. You want to think about always carrying a whistle with you. Honestly, I like that as one of your EDC items, which we're going to get into here in a second. But you're also, I'll show you here. This is like, see, that's what I mean about open, okay, right? Compared to where I was, where there was overstory, where there's tree cover, so it's harder for drones and things like that to find you. So you're going to give you guys a little glimpse here of the rainstorm that's coming in. If you can see it over my shoulder a little bit. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up. So you're going to start to make yourself easier to be found. Okay, that's key. And newer cell phones, even if you don't have cell phone coverage, newer cell phones, a lot of the newer ones have a way to access satellite for emergency to get a text message out to let people know where you are and that you're lost and you need help, okay? So I know the iPhone 14 and up has it. I'm not sure about Android, but think about that, and you can go and read the instructions on how to do that, how to use the emergency satellite access. Remember, if you do that, you need a real clear view of the sky. So you're gonna, again, you don't want to be under a forest canopy like that. You want to be in an open area like this, okay? See how much sky I got? That's what you're looking for, all right? All right, that's gonna bring us to our last little bit here, which is what kind of items should you be taking with you on your hike? Even if you're just going on a day hike. This is honestly the 2 times that I got really lost. My intent was just to do a real quick hike, but decided to explore something that I had never seen before in both of those times, and just kind of went a little bit off trail, got turned around, and it's easy for animal game trails to start looking like human trails, and a lot of times that's how that happens. So you want to be thinking about, even if you go out on a little day hike, you're going to want to bring some stuff with you, right? So you're going to want to bring a way to start a fire, like this Wazoo Spark necklace that I usually carry with me. You want to think about a whistle, like I said, maybe some personal protection like pepper spray or something like that. You're always going to carry at least a little bit of water with you and a way to purify water, right? And there's a lot of different ways to do that. There's a lot of good systems for that. It's not a bad idea to also have another way to boil water and store water, right? It's good options to keep with you. Depends on how much gear you want to carry with you, of course. But so I get it, like if you're just doing a little couple hours trail hike, maybe you're not going to carry all that, but you at least need to carry some water with you and a way to purify water, all right? I recommend you carry a lot of cordage with you. It is possible to bushcraft cordage out in the wild. We got some videos here on the LT Wright Knives channel that will show you how to do that. I think CLP Bushcraft did one. But it's you know, it's time intensive, calorie intensive. It takes a little while. So carrying some with you could rig a shelter real quick. I usually carry a ripstop poncho with me. Don't have it today, funny enough, with this rain coming in, but I usually have that with me. And you can rig a pretty decent little shelter. It's not going to be like home sweet home, but it'll keep you alive and mostly dry from the elements. And what else? You're going to want to have some kind of cutting tool, right? Like the LT Wright Genesis. This is my preferred fixed blade. Maybe you also carry a folder with you as well. I like to have a little mini flashlight with me when I'm, I pretty much carry a mini flashlight with me all the time. Now, is that going to give me, 8 hours of light at night? No. I mean, a little bit, I guess on the very low mode, it would give me a little bit of light. But being able to shine it in the dark when you hear something coming up to see what it is, sure is helpful. And, gives you a little bit of a morale boost. If you've ever spent the night in the woods by yourself, which by the way, I do recommend, it's a really fun experience and very spiritual. You'll learn a lot about yourself when you do that. But you will hear all kinds of things that don't move around during the daytime. And it definitely can get your heartbeat up a little bit. It can get you into a little bit into that fight, flight, freeze mode. Wow, we're getting dark. Okay. What else are you guys thinking? Of course, your cell phone, right? And always charge up your cell phone before a hike. Always, always, always make sure your cell phone's fully charged up before a hike. And the last couple things is, it doesn't hurt to carry a little trail snack with you. Obviously, you should learn how to read a map and compass, how to use a compass and read a map. And, those are handy to have with you if you're lost in the wilderness. And I know I'm forgetting something here. What am I forgetting, folks? Put it in the comments. I remembered. A little mini first aid kit is also not a bad idea, right? So this is really bare bones, day pack, EDC for a hike. But let me know in the comments down below if you thought of some things that you like to carry with you on yours that I didn't mention here. And I will do a video if you guys want me to. I think I've done a video before about what's typically in my day pack. It's evolved a little bit since the last time I did that. Some of the gear has changed. So if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you all have a great day. Make sure you get outside. Don't let the fear of getting lost ruin Mother Nature for you. This is awesome. This is just me getting outside for a couple hours today has totally recharged me. And I am looking forward to starting the work week tomorrow. Folks, thanks so much for watching my video. It is out now starting to sprinkle on me, so I'm going to go ahead and shut the phone off. I'm about 400 yards from my vehicle now. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you are subscribed to LT Wright Knives and put that bell notification on. This is Prepping with Sarge. Stay sharp out there.
Well, I've been told my attitude could use changing, and my lifestyle